Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving into the gritty, high-stakes, and honestly often misunderstood reality of tax sale investing. If you've ever wondered how the pros actually build wealth in the distressed real estate space, well, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to strip away all that marketing hype and look strictly at the facts, the actual strategies, and the real math behind tax liens and tax deeds. Let's just jump right in.
Okay, first things first, we've got to address the massive elephant in the room. I mean, we've all seen those 2 a.m. infomercials, right? The ones promising you a sprawling mansion for the price of a cup of coffee. They pitch these literal pennies-on-the-dollar real estate empires. It's easily the most persistent myth in investing, and it's an incredibly seductive narrative. But is it actually true?
Well, the hype promises instant wealth with zero effort. But the reality? It's a completely different story. Tax sale investing is a high-friction, high-stakes operational business. You're not just buying a discount coupon for a dream home, you're taking on complex legal and physical turnarounds. True success here requires serious operational rigor, not just a lucky bid at a county auction. It's a business, plain and simple.
So, the crucial point here is understanding the crossroads of tax sales. Now, every state operates a little differently, but it generally boils down to two distinct paths: tax liens and tax deeds. With a tax lien, you're basically playing the bank. You invest in the debt and you earn interest. But with a tax deed, you step right into the role of a turnaround specialist. You're investing in equity and taking immediate control of the physical asset.
Let's look at the lien path first. If you choose to play the bank, you're looking at historical returns of roughly 16 to 18% annually. And here's why that actually works. When a property owner doesn't pay their taxes, the county sells a tax lien to an investor. Now, you don't own the house, but you do have a priority claim. That means if the property eventually goes into foreclosure, the tax lien gets paid off before almost anyone else, literally even before the mortgage lender.
It's really easy to see why tax liens are so incredibly popular for passive investors. Over the last 25 years, the stock market has averaged around an 11% return. Tax liens, on the other hand, can conservatively net you an 18% annual return. You can consistently beat historical stock market averages without ever swinging a hammer, managing a single tenant, or dealing with a messy property renovation. Not a bad deal, right?
But hey, what if playing the bank just isn't enough for you? Enter tax deeds. This is where you actually buy the property. Now, while you aren't paying literal pennies, acquiring an asset for 30 to 70% of its market value is still a massive, unparalleled acquisition discount. No other accessible real estate strategy gives ordinary investors that kind of upfront equity on a regular basis. But, and this is a massive but, you really have to work for it.
As veteran investor Scott Lumley puts it, most investors treat the tax deed auction like a high-stakes lottery, but hope is not a strategy. You absolutely must view every deed purchase as a turnaround objective rather than a lucky break. Because the second that gavel falls at the auction, you immediately inherit whatever problems the previous owner couldn't solve. You're not buying a pristine rental. You're buying a messy, legal, and physical situation.
Remember, you aren't just buying dirt. You're buying into complex, hidden traps. While a tax deed wipes out a lot of junior liens, it doesn't wipe out everything. For example, federal IRS liens actually survive the sale, and they come with a 120-day right of redemption. You might also inherit aggressive HOA liens, municipal code violations, or the sudden, incredibly expensive nightmare of environmental contamination. Oh, and if there are squatters or former owners still living there, yeah, congratulations, you just inherited them too, and now you have to handle the formal eviction.
And honestly, it gets even wilder. Because tax sales operate under a strict buyer beware rule, the county guarantees absolutely nothing about what they are selling, and I mean nothing. Without proper research, you might accidentally buy an unbuildable sliver of land or literally a completely worthless square yard of concrete. Yes, people have actually purchased chunks of sidewalk because they bid blind. It's a mind-blowing reality that traps unprepared investors every single day.
So, to avoid buying that expensive chunk of sidewalk, professionals rely on a strict due diligence blueprint to uncover the unvarnished truth before they ever place a bid. First up, they execute a rapid PACER search to ensure the property owner isn't in bankruptcy, because an automatic stay can completely invalidate the sale. Second, they verify the physical condition, often with just a quick drive-by, to check for structural damage or active occupants. And third, they conduct a deep title search to hunt down those surviving superior liens we talked about.
And when they're crunching the numbers, professional investors target a strict 2-to-1 margin of safety ratio. What does that actually mean?
Well, it means the property must have a market value of at least twice your all-in investment costs. So, if your winning bid, title clearing, repairs, and holding costs equal $25,000, that property better be worth at least $50,000. This buffer is what protects you against all that unexpected friction we just covered.
Now, assuming you did your homework, won a great property, and successfully avoided the sidewalk, you still face the final hurdle. A tax deed gives you what is known in the industry as color of title. This means you receive a marketable title, so yes, you can legally sell it, but you generally do not receive an insurable title. And title insurance companies will absolutely not issue a policy just because you hold a county tax deed.
So why does that matter? Well, because without title insurance, a buyer cannot get a conventional mortgage to buy the house from you. To make the property truly yours, fully liquid, and to unlock its full market value, you've got to deploy a quiet title action. This is a formal circuit court lawsuit that permanently wipes out any lingering ghosts of the previous ownership, allowing the property to finally be insured and financed.
Now, this is definitely not a weekend project. This operational marathon can take anywhere from 3 to 12 months. You have to file the suit, serve notice to all prior interest holders, wait for the response periods, and finally get a court judgment. It's basically the ultimate boss fight required to turn your raw tax deed into a clean, sellable asset that triumphantly commands top dollar on the open market.
And, of course, lawsuits aren't free. Industry data shows that a quiet title action typically costs anywhere from $1,500 to $5,000 for uncontested cases. The secret of the pros is that they bake this mandatory legal maneuver right into their initial bid. They price in the friction from day one, ensuring their profit margins remain perfectly intact when it's all said and done.
So the ultimate question remains, are you ready to play the bank and passively collect interest? Or do you have the grit to navigate the legal friction and become a turnaround titan? The massive discounts are out there waiting at the county courthouse, but the real question is, are you prepared to do the work,